Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thanks for tuning in. This is Bianca's YogaFloetry, and today we're going to look into opening up the outer thigh muscles. So really stretching around the glutes and the piriformis and the IT band and the TFL, all of these outer muscles that can get really rigid. So I'm joined by some wonderful yoga teachers, and what we're going to look at is basically the different body types in how this pose can kind of manifest into the physical form. And this is probably going to be really helpful so that you kind of, not so much as you categorize, but you can get an idea of, how you can modify your body in this shape. All right, so we're going to extend the legs forward, which we have. Then we're going to put a little bend in the knees, and we're going to take the left heel in, and as it goes behind the knee, it's going to go over to the right, so that that left shin is more or less lining up parallel to the short edge of the mat. Then we're going to take the right hand under the shin, so we're kind of rolling the inner calf up, and we're going to take the right ankle to the thigh. And already you're going to start to see these wonderful deviations of the shape. So someone here, we've got Jeanette. She has a tighter body. So me putting her in this posture in class and saying, stay in it, is actually just going to damage her knees. So for someone with Jeanette's body, I'm going to say, let's lift you up and sit on a bolster. And that bolster could also be 3 blankets or 4, or it could be a block. And as she sits, now we look at the alignment of her double pigeon, and still we're kind of finding challenges with it because of how tight the inner groin muscles are and the outer hips. So what we're going to have her do is we're going to release the posture all the way together. Good. And she's going to find the center of her buttock bones, ground them on the bolster, and then she's slowly going to come sit into Sukhasana with the right shin in front. So a little bend in the knees, and then drawing the right shin forward. Good. Over the left. Nope, just there. That's it. She's going to take Sukhasana. And actually, she might not think she's getting a good stretch, but she's actually going to get a stretch when we hinge and fold forward. And then she's going to try and flex her right foot. Good stuff. How does that feel? Good. All right, and then I'm going to move over here, and we're going to look at somebody with a lot of external rotation. So as we look at Alex's body, Alex could actually go a lot deeper into the posture. So for someone with Alex's body, she's going to see if she can move her right ankle past her left thigh. And you can already see it. The right knee hasn't elevated. That's how I know that she's doing the rotation from the femur bone in the socket. So she's going to work here, and actually she's going to get a lot more feedback. But as she's so mobile, she might find that her buttock bones go up. So she's going to ground her buttock bones down so we don't strain the ligaments up by the hamstrings. We've got someone like Kemi's body over here, and Kemi's more or less parallel with the shins, but you can see the right knee is slightly elevated. So we're starting to move into a mild internal rotation. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a blanket there so that she's not yanking down on her right knee as she hinged forward. She's actually got a little bit more comfort for her right knee. Then we've got a body over here, Adrian's body, and you can see Adrian's right knee is a little bit more elevated. So I could give her a blanket, but you might be in a yoga studio where they don't have blankets, right? So we use a block. So I'm going to put the block in, and it's going to go at an angle, and that's just going to give her support for her right knee. Okay, so now we're going to flex that right foot so that the right foot isn't sleepy. But as we flex the foot, it's not tightly flexed, it's just active, so that the foot isn't sickled and you're not sitting in the outer right ankle ligaments or the inner ankle ligaments. So as we flex the foot, we're going to take a full inhale, lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, we begin to hinge, fold from the crease of the hips. Good. As we pull the sternum forward, you can already see Alex's forehead has gone all the way down. Jeanette's a little bit more elevated. I'm going to encourage her, yes, to melt the spine ever so slightly, pull the sternum forward. And as she breathes into it, I'm going to encourage Alex to ground those buttock bones, yes. So for someone with such an open body, this is where it's going to sound tricky. She could actually do just a little bit of internal rotation, right? Because she's already got that extreme external rotation. And this will just keep her safe so she doesn't overdo the posture. Now, Kemi's forehead is more or less touching the mat, so we're going to help her a little bit more with that. And we're going to give her a block for her forehead, and she can downsize on the block, increase the height of the block, but then she really gets to place the forehead down onto something and let the energy of the brain cool. And then we've got Adrian, and again, a little bit like Jeanette, I'm just going to encourage the lengthening from all 4 sides of the waist and more hinging. And then as they breathe into this posture, they're all getting a nice stretch on the outer hips. So we're just going to hold this for 5 more breaths. And as they hold the posture, They're thinking about the breath as moving into any rigidity that they're feeling on the outer hip muscle, and using the breath, they're making space. And as they make space, they leave enough space for the heart, so the heart is pulling forward. We'll take a nice full inhale in through the nose. We'll stretch the breath. And open the mouth and exhale, let it go. And then we'll very slowly crawl those fingertips in and come all the way up. How was that? And then we'll release. So as they release the leg again, right leg releases, extend the legs forward, and just a little shake it out. There we go. That's it. All right, then we'll do the second side. So a little bend in the knees. As you bend the knees, draw the right heel in, but also take it over to the left. So the shin is more or less parallel to the short edge of the mat. Then take your left hand inside the lower leg, and as you roll the calf up, feel that external rotation from your left femur bone. Then as you flex your feet, level the buttock bones, and again we look at the deviations, and the deviations aren't a bad thing. We just look at how each body is different. So again, Jeanette's taking Sukhasana. Alex has gone a little bit narrower in her stance, which means her left ankle is now slightly outside of the knee. And then Kemi's going to use the blanket again, just so that she can really ground the left thigh bone down. And Adrian's going to use the block. So let's give you a blanket, Kemi. And then we're going to take a full inhale. We're going to lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, we begin to hinge, fold from the crease of the hips. And this is such a great, yummy posture, especially if you're someone who holds a lot in the outer thigh muscles. It can strain the lower back. So just being in this shape really just gives you a really nice release. So you start to find that mobility. And again, if you're very mobile, yes, go deeper, but connect to the foundation, especially in and around the sitting bones with the hamstrings. And the feet are active, the heart's pulling forward, And as the heart pulls forward, there's space for the diaphragm and the lungs. And as you breathe into the shape for just a few more breaths here, you allow yourself to, let's have you use your block again. You allow yourself to, yeah, that's it. Make space from inside out. So you at home could hold this as long as you like. If I was doing this, I'd hold this shape for about roughly 2 minutes each side. And that's why it's important, again, to use the props accordingly so that you can actually revel in the shape and find that internal space and give yourself time to explore that with more ease. Take a very full inhale in through the nose, follow the breath all the way up into the chest, and open the mouth, exhale, let it go. And then we're slowly going to come all the way up, crawl the fingertips in, elongate through the spine, and release. Extending the legs forward. You might just want to shake it out for a moment. How was that? So give it a go. That's double pigeon, Agni Stambhasana. I think I said that correctly. I don't know. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you there on the Yoga Road.